Hello, my name is Scott. I'm a United States citizen and I play guitar as a hobby, as a passion. And I am one of those people who read about Gibson's recent woes, not once but twice, at the hands of the Department of Justice, citing that they had violated the Lacey Act, which was enacted in 2008, not once, not twice. The first case over Madagascar rosewood, and the second time over Indian rosewood. In both cases, I am not exactly certain, but it's either a question of it being considered contraband or it was not finished properly and it was released to them and they accepted the shipment and therefore they were served with a warrant and they had their material confiscated. I found all of this extremely interesting, and in order to really try to get a better grasp, I went online, I did research, and just for fun, I went ahead and downloaded this. This is the Lacey Act Declaration Form when you ship a product of wood into the United States. It was enacted, as stated, in 2008, and if you ship something and it goes through customs, you're supposed to fill out one of these forms. So I decided, well, for fun, I'm going to take 3 guitars. You can see them here. We're going to go by them one by one, and I'm actually going to see if I can actually fill out paperwork properly on any of these guitars based on the mandates of this Lacey Act Declaration. Okay, let's see, item 1, blah, 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 blah. It gets really interesting in Article 13. Article 13, article, component of article. Enter a brief description of each article or component of an article that is manufactured from plants or plant parts. I.e. example, blah, 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 blah. Product 14. For each article, if the species of plant is used to produce the product varies and the species used to produce the product is unknown, enter each species that may have been used to produce the product. The product was manufactured prior to the amendment and you cannot determine species. Not and or, just and. Put special and genus. 15, the country of harvest. Enter the country where the plant was harvested. If the country of harvest varies and is unknown, enter all countries from which the plant material or the product may have been harvested. This is not the country of manufacture origin. And 16, how much of the plant material is used, entering in exact, basically, measurements and weight. So, first guitar. This is a Gibson Les Paul Studio. Let me look at it here. I'll tell you it was, okay, Article 13. Article of component. Okay, the brief description of each article. Okay, from what I know, this has a rosewood fingerboard. It has a mahogany maple and neck. There's a 3/4 inch maple cap. And as to far as how each individual genus and species, I do not know the genus of species of this maple cap. There are lots of varieties of maple just in North America alone. Which kind of maple? I don't know. Mahogany. Mahogany describes a wood, but if it's used in a commercial sense, it could describe hundreds of different woods. What kind of mahogany? I don't know. Am I supposed to list every single genus of mahogany that has ever been created or listed with the exact genus and species as defined by what is considered commercial grade mahogany or just straight mahogany? What kind of mahogany? I don't know. Fingerboard is rosewood. Well, gosh, it's probably not Brazilian rosewood. That was outlawed in 1969. It could possibly be Madagascar rosewood. Now, if I take this through custom, and I guess, well, this is Madagascar rosewood. That's contraband as far as I know as the Lacey Act. I'm not certain. Would you have to assume this since Gibson got rated over it? Or it could be Indian rosewood or some other country. But to be honest, I don't know where every single country of harvest lists their rosewood. You know, I am not a genus species. Somebody can give me an extensive list of every single country and every single plant and species of rosewood just to ship the guitar through customs. Good luck. As far as aftermarket parts, you can tell I modified this slightly from the catalog. It has a bone nut. What kind of bone? I don't know. I had it added a year ago. It's a bone nut. I don't know what kind of bone. It's a bone nut. Okay, if I can't prove this, okay, in light of what I know about this guitar, I'm getting ready to ship it. How could I effectively fill this out? I don't really know. I do know that a misdemeanor charge under the Lacey Act, which I guess would mean failure to comply, filling out this declarations form, is a $100,000 fine and a year in jail. Okay, so let's say that for now, okay, you don't know what the Gibson is because it's an electric, it's painted, blah, blah, it's a Gibson, it's whatever. Let's go to Guitar 2. This is a Taylor 410 CE. It's a very nice guitar. It was made by the Taylor Company that is headed by Bob Taylor, an innovative maker who is known as one of the most environmentally conscious builders in the entire industry. He is very active in those causes. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he goes down to South America once a year and personally oversees projects to protect the rainforest in South America. Okay, this is one of his guitars. I mean, somebody like that, you're thinking, dude, that's like Captain Planet. And this is one of Captain Planet's guitars. Just a second. Okay, looking at the Lacey Act and the declaration form. This is Sitka spruce. Okay, it's from India. Back and sides are Indian rosewood. This is the exact same components Gibson was rated for and cut. Now, do they meet the components as based per Indian law? Are they the right length or width? I don't know. And the bigger question is, how would a customs agent know unless they were to physically bust apart the guitar, put it on a scale, and measure it? In other words, what I'm asking is, how can you do this without destroying the instrument? The neck is maple. What kind of maple? I don't know, it's maple. That's all they tell me. Now, bear in mind, this is a brand new guitar. This bridge and this fretboard is maple. Or, I'm sorry, it's ebony. You can slap me for that. Okay, ebony is one of those items that was listed as contraband that was confiscated. Now, was this ebony finished in a proper manner as comprised with the Lacey Act? No, Bob Taylor's never been investigated. What is the weight and the exact weight of this bridge and this fretboard? How would you know unless you physically destroyed the guitar and ripped them off and threw them on a scale? Sorry, but you know what? I can't even fill out paperwork on Captain Planet's guitar. I show up at customs, I ship something to customs, hey, but this is Captain Planet's guitar. It doesn't matter. You can't effectively do it. Okay. Now, some furniture makers, I've seen them in recent articles, go, well, why can't you just make products out of American woods? Well, these are not pieces of furniture and they're not your hardwood floor. These are musical instruments. Going back to the case of ebony, if you look at classical instruments, just about every violin, cello, viola made in the whole world has ebony fretboards. You take one of these, how are they supposed to fill out this form? Are you going to destroy someone's violin to get the exact weight and dimensions of the ebony, and are they going to know exactly which country the ebony was harvested in? But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Here's Guitar 3. This is a Seagull 12-string acoustic guitar. It's made by Godin. It's an outfit in Canada that uses North American woods. It has a cedar pressure-tested cedar top, okay, North American wood. Back and sides are cherry. The neck is maple. You notice it still has a rosewood fretboard on it. What the fretboard rosewood is, I have no idea. How many genuses of cedar there are, I can't tell you the genus and species of cedar. Maybe I could look it up online, but what if I'm just trying to get the guitar home? Cherry wood, I know cherry wood is cherry wood. I am not a fauna expert. I can't go, oh, this is the Lipidus procopus. So, long and short, this act, I can't fill it out. I can't fill it out. I cannot effectively, per this document, per United States law, ship any of this garbage anywhere. It's total garbage. Now, as far as the Lacey Act and how it applies to Gibson, the two questions I have for the Department of Justice. Number one, why are you enforcing and trying to interpret the laws of other nations? It seems to me we have so much confusion with our own laws that I find it ludicrous that you are going to try, confiscate, and prosecute people per other nations' laws. Supposedly those other nations didn't think they broke their own laws, but you did. That's interpretation. I would love to see that one go to court. Number two, the international community, as far as woods and endangered species, operates on an international treaty known as CITES. CITES has been in existence for a long time. It has an extensive list of banned contraband, woods that are not kosher, animal parts like ivory that are not kosher, and a retroactive date as to when, okay, after this date, you shouldn't have this stuff. It is the treaty which all nations are supposed to identify with and abide by. In other words, it is the sheet of music that the world marches to. And woods are certainly no exception. The Lacey Act is additional legislation which, in my opinion, doesn't really do anything but make things more confounding and more confusing. Now, I would challenge anybody, download one of those Lacey Act Declaration Forms. I would challenge anyone in Congress, download a form, get a guitar, get any musical instrument, and see if you can effectively fill out that paperwork if you had to ship it. Now, why do people ship guitars? Would you check a guitar into an airline? Cue the United Breaks guitar song. What if you're a retailer? You kind of have to ship. Let's say you go out of country and it comes back in the country. You buy something from eBay off NAFTA or Mexico. It's going to get shipped through customs. Long and short, right now I know that Gibson is a focus priority. If this continues, I imagine eventually it is going to hit all musical manufacturers and retailers. And the end result, Gibson will probably move out, but I think in the end, this administration and the prior one which enacted it, and I hold both parties responsible because they both had a hand in creating this act, are going to destroy musical manufacturing in the United States, musical retail sales in the United States, and you are going to put tens to hundreds of thousands of people out of jobs. This is at a time when supposedly you're all about finding people jobs. Based on the administration and decisions by the Department of Justice, I don't really see you guys honestly doing anything other than putting other people out of work. And for guys like me that just have legally purchased guitars, I consider this my property. You're making my life a nightmare. I would behoove anybody, if you're a guitar player, if you're a music aficionado, as stated, download the Lacey Act. Look at it for yourself. See if you can fill it out. If it's an unjust law, it needs to be repealed. And in my opinion, this needs to happen sooner if not later. These are not hardwood floors. This is not your furniture. These are musical instruments. Please help us. Please save this industry. Do the right thing. Call your congressman. Have them take the challenge and get this silly act repealed before any more damage is done. Thanks and have a great day.